Anger growing as the Algerian boxer Imane Khelif, who, remember, the IOC claim was not that dominant or successful, so why should anyone be worried? Well, the athletes now made it all the way through to the gold medal bout at the Olympics. Khelif goes into Saturday's bout as favourite, and it was only just the other day that the International Boxing Association went to Paris and held a press conference to confirm that Imane Khelif, as well as Taiwan's Lin Yuting, have male biology, with blood tests showing the male XY chromosomes in the two athletes, with the boss of the IBA, Umar Kremlov, calling out the Olympic Committee.
And today, unfortunately, we are witnessing the failure, the death of women, female boxing.
For more on this, let's bring in CEO for the women's app Giggle and a long-time defender of women's rights, Sel Grover. Well, Sel, thank you for your time. I want to pick up something that journalists from The Australian, two of them, Peter Bedell and Jacqueline Magnay, have looked at very carefully. They've gone through documents presented by the International Boxing Association that the IBA claims show just how fair the advantage Khelif has is. They are that on average, a male's handshake is 57% stronger than that of a woman, that athletes with the male XY chromosomes have 65% more leg power, 90% extra upper body strength than those of us with the female XX chromosomes, and importantly, that women have only about 40% of the hitting power of a man in the boxing ring. And when you see stats like this, Sel, it shows just how dangerous all of this is, surely.
100%. I mean, we know that men are stronger than women. It's why male violence exists. It's not like women could fight back but choose not to. The reality is that men are stronger than women, and we live in that reality every day. And in sport and in greater society, there has been safeguarding and categories created to make it fair and as safe as possible for women to have a fair shot. And what is happening right now in the Olympics and in many other parts of society where the absence of biological reality in sex-based rules and regulations is playing out. But we knew that this was the reality. We knew this would happen.
At this big press conference on the weekend in Paris, the medical chief for the International Boxing Association, who is in fact a gynecologist of 30 years training, he spoke out. He said, the IOC's passport definition of a woman is, and I quote, contestable because the science, he says, is not poor. Medicine is knowledge. It's not opinion. He says, I know who is a woman and who is a man. The biological world does not change. Now, why on earth is the IOC dismissing medical and biological tests, the views of medical experts, and instead relying just on a passport?
I think that's a really, really good question. And I think it's one that they should be answering because, I mean, we all know what a woman is. A woman is an adult human female. It's XX chromosomes. And the issue is here, as with everywhere else where this is becoming a problem, is that they are elevating this concept of legal sex, which is what would be female on your passport meaning anything, and making it override the reality of biological sex. And the moment that you override the reality of biological sex with legal sex, you obliterate women's rights. And you end up with males punching women on the world stage at the Olympics. It literally just does not work in society. So not only are these women taking the punches, but the rest of us are getting hit with it as well. Because once you make it that legal sex is what everybody has to acknowledge, it means that women's sport is no longer a thing. Female-only spaces are gone, and you no longer have the legal right to say that is a man when you accurately see a man. So women like myself, Kath Deves, Moira Deeming, Kiralee Smith, Louise Elliott, we have been saying in Australia for years now that this simply doesn't work in society. And now it's being seen by everybody. And the International Olympic Committee is doubling down. And I can only assume they're doing it because, one, they've never experienced this kind of pushback before, despite there being males in female sports in previous Olympics. but also because they've never had to justify this position like this, and it's humiliating for them for what they've done because they knew that these people were male.